Welcome to the Pip Pin podcast. This is episode number 2, and it is July 31st. My name is Megan Nodecker, and I am a knitting pattern designer from Vancouver, BC, or just outside of Vancouver, out in Abbotsford. And I live here with my husband and my daughter. You can find me on a couple different places. Instagram as Pip Pin, Ravelry as Knit Pip Pin because Pip Pin was taken. I also have a Ravelry group called Pip Pin. Right now there's not too much on it, but there you will find show notes, and if I have new patterns that need to be tested, that'll be there. And there's an intro thread. If you've ever knit a Pip Pin pattern, then there's also a full thread, so you can show off what you've done. I'd love to see it. First thing that I want to say is thank you. Thank you so much for either coming back if you watched the last episode, or if you're new, welcome. I did not expect such a huge response for the first episode there. I was blown away, and you guys just made me feel so welcome, and it was amazing. So thank you so much. You made my heart happy. I feel like I have a lot more things to talk about today, so this might not be a half an hour episode. It might be a little bit longer. We'll see how it goes. One thing that I do want to say is I have a bit of a new setup, which is really nice. My sister Katie lent me her camera. Well, I do have a really nice camera. It is old as dirt and doesn't actually have a video option. So Katie's lent me hers for now, which can record, which is really nice. And it also has a screen that kind of flips out, so I can see myself right there. So there won't be, things out of the shot, and I can double check, which is nice. Also a little distracting. The one thing about it is, I don't know if you could tell, but the microphone is on the camera. And this camera likes to focus lots, which is nice because it makes everything look really nice. But it is quite noisy. And I had a different lens on there before, one of my older lenses, and it was just like... So I'm sorry about that. I'll try to get rid of as much of it as possible. And then hopefully next time I'll have some sort of external mic or something. And that won't be an issue anymore. But yeah, I have my list down here of things that I want to talk about. First thing is I have an Instagram giveaway going on. I have reached 1,000 followers, which is pretty awesome, I think. So I decided to do a giveaway and make up a little goodie bag. So I guess I'll just dive right in and show you the prizes, because they're, I don't know, I like them, which is probably why I picked them. So the first thing is a project bag, and I kind of showed these last time. I had made one for myself, but they're these guys. And there's 3 different options. There's this cool brown one, which I have one of those ones, and then like a black one. Hopefully you can see the texture on there because it's pretty neat. And then a nice, let me make this one pretty first. And then a gray one. And these are all, like they're vinyl. So I wanted to make something that would be durable and kind of easy to clean. And these can just be like wiped down with a damp cloth, which is really great at my house. I also, I made these quite a while ago, and I made a couple for myself because I wanted to make sure that that they were durable enough. And yeah, sure enough, you can scrunch them up and throw them in your bag. And yeah, the material has been working out great. They're also sturdy enough that you can kind of pop them open. Just plain black inside. But yeah, so you get your choice of one of those bags. They're probably good for 1 to 2 skeins. I use mine for socks. They're great for that. The second thing that comes with this are these teeny tiny pair of scissors. There we go. And we had... Sorry, that camera's going to be really annoying, I know. We had a bunch of these at Knit City last year, and they sold out in the first half of Saturday. So they were really, really popular. We did order a ton more for this year, and I decided to put these little guys in. They're really nice quality. I stole a pair for myself as well. We also have a set of 20 locking stitch markers. They're just the basic ones, kind of like the safety pin ones. Those are my favorite, the ones that I like to use. So a set of 20 of those. And then we have a skein of Sweet Fiber Merino Twist DK in Shipwreck. And this yarn is friggin' gorgeous. Melissa just is magic, pretty much, when it comes to dyeing yarn. And yeah, so this is a 100% superwash merino DK. The last thing that's going to go into that little goodie bag is 3 of Pip Pin's printed patterns. They'll also include a digital download, but you get to pick any 3 that you want, except for Celesta, because we don't have those ones printed yet. But yeah, any of the Pip Pin patterns that you want, you'll get 3. There will also be oh, I think Georgia woke up, so I should go get her set up. I'll be right back. There we go. Georgia's all set up, so we're good to go. I guess I was still talking about the Instagram giveaway, and I think I showed all the prizes. There's also going to be 5 runner-up prizes, and so 5 other people are going to win their choice of Pip Pin pattern, the digital download on Ravelry. Yeah, how to enter is, all you have to do is follow me on Instagram, find that giveaway post. I'll put a picture of it up here, and yeah, find the post, like it, and then tag a friend. And the more times that you tag friends in the comments, the more entries that you'll get. So that's going to go all the way until August 6th. And then I'll probably choose a winner on the 7th and notify them on Instagram. So good luck. And I hope you go check that out. A little bit of more news. Tomorrow, which is August 1st, we have 2 new patterns coming out, and those are a set, a hat and fingerless glove set. So the gloves, I'm gonna model them, even though it's 800 degrees. So these are the gloves. And I guess these are the Cypress fingerless gloves, and they have just an eyelet rib cuff. They're worked cuff to fingertips, so eyelet rib cuff, and then just stockinette for the palms and the rest of the gloves, and a little bit of ribbing at the end. So these are made with Sweet Georgia Superwash DK in the Cypress colorway. That's the name. And the gloves are going to be available in 3 sizes, so small, medium, and large. And you can find all of the information on the Ravelry pattern page when they get released tomorrow. And then there's also a matching hat. So this is Cypress hat made with the same yarn. Yeah, it's just a little slouchy. Slouchy has the same eyelet rib thing. The patterns for both of these will have both the written and charted instructions for the little lace bit there, because I think having both is important. Those are also both size medium and using one skein of yarn, so that's pretty cool. All of her well, that particular line, the Superwash DK, comes in 115 gram skeins. So yeah, that was totally enough to make 2 adult medium, the gloves and the hat. And then the hat does come in 3 adult sizes and then a child and a baby. And I really love the hat. I'm probably going to wear that one quite a bit once it gets a little bit cooler, because it's hot. It's going to be hot all week, like 40 degrees. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to melt. We don't have air conditioning I don't know if you know anything about the Pacific Northwest, but it rains and it's cold, and we usually have fairly steady temperatures. Like our winters usually aren't that bad. Our summers usually aren't that bad. So we're not prepared for extreme weather. So when it gets really hot, like, nobody really has air conditioning, especially not, I mean, I live in an apartment building from the 80s. Yeah, we do not have air conditioning. And then, winter comes and it snows 2 inches and nobody has snow tires either. So we're just not prepared for like any extreme one way or the other. And I'm gonna melt. I might actually go to my in-laws' house in hope, if they'll have me, because they have a backyard and a pool. So I'll just hang out there with Georgia. Yeah, this week we, one more thing I wanted to say about those 2 patterns, because usually when I do a new pattern release, I do some sort of promotion to go with them. Usually it's some sort of discount. And this time I decided, since they're a set, they're going to be regular $5 each. But until August 8th, I'm going to do them both for $8, or sorry, both for $5 until August 8th. So if you add both of those to your Ravelry cart, then it will just automatically show up as just $5. So yeah, I hope you'll go check those out. They will be available tomorrow, hopefully in the morning. But I have a 3-year-old, so who knows? What else did we do this week? This week, or last week, on literally the only cloudy day we've had all of July, and the only cloudy day that is in the foreseeable future, Katie and I went and took did some photography for some new stuff and some old stuff. We took a picture of the rhomboid hat, which I showed last week. We took some new pictures of that, and that pattern is going to get updated. So if you've already bought it, that update should be coming probably in the next couple weeks. And then if you haven't, I mean, there's just going to be some really, really beautiful new pictures. And the whole pattern is going to get a redo. It was one of my first ones, so it only has the written instructions. So I'm going to include a chart and just put it more up to standard. We also took some photos of the Big Giant Mystery Project, which I'm still not allowed to talk about, as well as a top that I made for knitwear. I got that one back. It is the Williamsburg top. And so luckily Katie she's sample size, so that's awesome that we can take pictures with her in my sample stuff, because I'm not a sample size. But so we took some pictures of that one, and then there's a new shawl, the Mara shawl. I might pop a picture in there, and that one was going to be released, I don't know, I was thinking November, but because I'm trying to do, a pattern a month, but I'm really ahead of myself right now, so it might be September. It might be before Knit City, because why not? Yeah, so we went to, we did not take kids because, thank goodness, because we went to White Cliff Park out in West Vancouver. Kind of, it's about half an hour drive from Katie's house. And these beautiful, beautiful cliffs, and you see all the little islands out there, and just the ferries were coming back and forth, and the ferry had to be cropped out of a couple photos because they're cool to see, but I don't want them in my pictures. But no, just absolutely gorgeous, and we could not have picked a better day. It felt like fall, and it was very lovely, and the grass has all kind of been burnt around there, so it wasn't all green lush summertime. It was looking like fall, and it was very lovely. Katie's partner Peter was able to watch the kids for us for the evening, and it was really nice to go and hang out and get to do that with her. Photography is something that we've always done ourselves, which has been really fun. Our photography days are always so fun. But I'm just thinking back to when we first started Pip and Pin, and that was 8 years ago. Yeah, almost 8 years ago now. And it has taken us that long to, I feel like finally we have a good grasp on our photography and our style, and just how to do it. Because if you look back at some of our early photography, and it's just not good. I think we just tried too hard. We have our lights, which is great. The lights are coming in handy, but we tried to do a studio setup, not with enough space. We didn't have the space. We didn't have the knowledge. We didn't have all the equipment. It was just, we were trying too hard to do something that's really hard to do. I think if we wanted to do those pictures, we should have gotten them professionally done. Another thing that we battled with, now we have one thing or two things that we take pictures of, and we take, literally we take 800 pictures in a day and pick from those. But when we were doing it before, we were selling our scarves on Etsy and things, and they were all original, one of a kind. So we were taking pictures of about 100 things in a day. I don't know how we did it. I guess we didn't have kids, so that's how. But no, it has taken so long and so much trial and error. But I'm finally feel that we're in a really nice place with our photography. And it's a long road. And yeah. So that's what we did over the weekend. Or over last week it was sometime. So I guess I will jump into my finished stuff. And really there's only one thing that I've finished. Yeah, there's only one thing. And I finished my socks. I finished my Afterthought Everything socks. So I'm really happy with them. This is how they turned out. But to be completely honest, I love the fabric and I love the yarn. This is Lichen and Lace 80/20 sock in pressed flowers. And then the contrasting is Knit Pick Stroll Tweed sock yarn in Rabbit Heather. And the Lichen and Lace is 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. And the Knit Picks is 65% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and 10% Donegal. Yeah, and I really love the yarns. I really love the heel. I loved the process of making these. The only thing is they turned out quite big. I was using 2 big needles, I think, and the length from the toe to the heel could have been quite a bit less. So they're going to be they're going to be around the house. They're not going to be for shoes or anything like that. So how for these socks, I didn't use a pattern, actually. What I did, I don't know if you'd watched last time or not, but how I made these is I didn't have a full skein of the pressed flowers, so I just really wanted to use as much of it as I possibly could. So I knit a big tube, a big connecting tube, and used every single little bit of it as I could. And then once that tube was done, I just chopped them in half, added the cuffs and the toes and the heels. And that was really fun. I've never like cut my knitting like that, and it was really nice. It was also nice because when you cut horizontally like that, like I know steeking you cut vertically, and that is like you don't come back from that. But when you cut horizontally like that, there's always a way to fix it. Like you can Kitchener it back together if you really make a mistake. So there was that knowledge, which was nice. Yeah, so that's what I did. I cut it, and it was fun, and I just chopped it in half. And I should have taken more time to see exactly where the middle was, because they were off quite a bit, and I had to unravel some stuff, and that wasn't really fun. The cuffs are just 2x2 rib. I used Jenny's super stretchy bind off, and I used that for the first time. And yeah, I can totally see why it's such a thing, because it really is really stretchy and really easy to do. Maybe too stretchy. Sometimes the first one that I did, because I'm used to doing my bind offs loose, like doing loose bind offs, and yeah, you don't do that with this bind off, because then they end up way too loose. So I had to tink back, and redo it in regular tension. And then for the heels, I thought I was gonna, watch tutorials and YouTube it up, but I didn't. I just kind of went with it. I had asked for a little bit of advice last time, and I got some really great advice from a couple people. So I just kind of took all the tips that I've known about afterthought heels and decided to wing it. So yeah, I just cut it in the middle. Or first I picked up my stitches. So I picked up my stitches first onto my needles, and then I cut it. Also at this point, I picked up 2 more stitches on each side, and then made sure to leave, like of the pressed flowers, leave those 2 stitches intact so that there's no gaps, because gaps are annoying. And then yeah, just round and round and round until I had 16 stitches, Kitchener. Like, I really, I think this is my favorite pair of socks I've ever made. I hate doing gusset heel flap socks. I don't find they fit me well. I've tried the like the short row socks, so those ones I liked as well, but they're kind of finicky. And these I just found super easy, and I like that I can, knit the tube, and because when I knit socks, like they're always just the thing that's like happening on in the background. If I need, if the project that I'm working on at the moment is either gets too big to take places or too complicated, then I have a pair of socks to like shove in my bag so I can keep my hands busy. And so that was really awesome for just knitting this big giant tube. And then, I spent a couple evenings, it's like, maybe I'll do this toe, or maybe I'll do this heel, and being able to just do one little piece at a time. That was really fun. And so I think this is going to be my new way of making socks. And this kind of happens to me every summer. Like I don't knit a ton of socks, but I really love them. I like having them in the wintertime. And usually, like, this pair has been on my needles since January. Maybe, well, no, it would have been January because I got the yarn for myself for Christmas. So yeah, it probably would have been January. Yeah, socks are just those things that get done sometimes. Very rarely. I love them, but things going on. As for whips, I have, well, I technically have two, but one of them I'm not going to talk about today, only because it's for a present, and I don't want the person to see it yet, so yeah, I'll share that later. But aside from that, I have something that I'm working on, and this is a new design I'm working on for Knit Scene, and it will be available in their summer 2018 issue. So next April, usually they release it. Again, I think it's pretty fun. I'm using the fiber company Luma in CL, and I don't have a ball band to show you because this yarn was not sent with the ball band. There we go. There. And I don't know if you can see. It's very subtle, but this yarn is, I don't know how to explain it. There's little like flecks, I think, because it's 50% merino wool, 25% organic cotton, 15% linen, and 10% silk. So I think the silk just gives it this, I don't know, there's so much depth to the color. It's really beautiful, and it's really nice to work with. It's soft, but I don't know, the fiber company, did I say it was a fiber company? Fiber company Luma. They always have such interesting combinations of different fibers, and I don't know, for the past couple months it feels like my whole life has been the fiber company. I've been working with their yarn quite a bit, and all different kinds, and there's not one of them that I haven't liked so far. So yeah, this is a really nice, I think it's going to be really nice for like summer things, which is why I'm using it for a summer knit. And what I'm making is, it kind of is, I'm crazy right now, is a halter top, which is, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool. So I've got, let me see if I can do it. Oh no, the battery's going to die. Okay, so what I've got is a halter top, and I kind of did the I-cord last night so that you could see it. Let's see if I can get it all in there. There we go. And I'm really sorry about this lens thing. So that's going to be the front of it. There's some casing up at the top. You just go straight to the armholes, and then it's going to be quite long, with some A-line shaping and a little like picot. Picot? Do you say the T? Picot? Picot? I don't know. I'll have to learn how to read. Anyways, little bind off, cute little hangers. You know what I mean. There's also a knit on casing that you do for the I-cord for the tie, and then the back is my favorite part. You kind of split the back in two, and then have the tie come down the middle. So hopefully you can kind of get the idea of what it's going to look like. I might be finished and sending it away to them before the next podcast, but I'll make sure I take some pictures or a little video of it on my mannequin, because yeah, it won't fit me. But that's what I'm working on right now, and I'm pretty excited about it. I really love working for magazines, because I kind of get to do things that are they're a little outside of what I would usually design, or outside of, different colors or different fibers that I've never heard of before, or even just designs that I wouldn't necessarily make, only because, like, when I do things for magazines and for other third-party publications, usually how it works is you get a couple of ideas together, and you do the sketches, and you like kind of do all the math, and then it's like they pick one and tell you which one they like, and sometimes it's not always my first choice of what to make, and it's not, may have just been an idea that I kind of threw out there. Not to say that I don't like what I'm making, because I always, like, I wouldn't submit it if I didn't like it. But, you know, this isn't necessarily something that I would design for, you know, for a Pip and Pin design. It's not really in, like, in my wheelhouse. You know what I mean? Like, it just wouldn't really fit with the Pip and Pin stuff that I usually do. And that makes it really fun. It makes it really interesting to be able to do such different things. Actually, for the Cypress ones that I showed earlier, the ones that we're publishing tomorrow, those were a rejection. I had submitted those probably last year, not the gloves, but the hat. I had submitted maybe a year or two ago to a third public party. I think it was Nitpicks, and they said no. They said they you know, didn't want it. And what I've come to learn about designing and when you submit to outside people is not to take rejections hard, because most of the time it's not about, you know, it's not like they reject it because it's a bad design. They reject it because it's rejected. It's such an ugly word, but they reject it because it just doesn't fit in with what they're doing, or you know, they're sometimes, like, I know Nitpicks and Inchweave Knits, like, they get a ton of submissions, and they just can't have them all. So yeah, the Cypress hat was a rejected submission. You can just do it anyways. I'm just releasing it anyways. So if you want to be a designer or are just starting out, like, don't take rejections personally. And I've also had things rejected and then submitted them to different places and had them accepted. Like, it's not, again, it's not about good or bad designs. It's about being the right fit for something. Totally off topic tangent there. I think we're almost at the end, kind of. The last kind of thing I wanted to talk about was my stash enhancement. And like I said before, I don't really have a stash, but I did get some stuff. One of the things I got goes with the present knitting that I'm doing, so I'm not going to share that. I'll share that next time. But I did get last weekend, or the weekend before? I'm not sure. I went to 88 Stitches out in Langley, and they had a Knox Mountain Knit Company trunk show. So Willow and Sasha from Kelowna, from the Knox Mountain Knit Co girls, were there. So there were snacks, there was a little social, and they were there, and it's always really lovely to see them. They're such nice ladies. And so we got our picture, and yeah, it was really nice to see them again. While I was there, I picked up some more yarn for George's Gramps cardigan. I just needed something for the collar and, like, the bands and things. And so last time I showed you these ones, and because Georgia lost the Gramps that I made her before, we went to the yarn store and she picked out her own yarn for her Gramps. And so these are the colors that she picked. And yeah, when I was there the other day, I just grabbed a couple different grays to see which one would go with it. And honestly, you can't really ever have too many grays, and they're not gonna sit in my stash for very long, I'm sure. These are all Cascade 220, Cascade 220 Heathers, 100% Peruvian Highland, 100% Peruvian Highland, 100% Peruvian Highland wool. That's a mouthful. Anyways, so the ones that I got is this one, and this is one of the Heathers. It's 8400, the charcoal gray, and yeah, And then this one is not a heather, and it's 8509, just gray, which I kind of like. Like, I usually don't, heathers are awesome, but sometimes you just need a plain one. And then 8401, which is a heather, again, in the silver gray. So yeah, one of those. We'll go with those guys for the bands and stuff. And hopefully I'll be able to get that started soon, because it's gonna be fall soon. I'm really excited about fall. Last thing. Pick it up. That's it. You want me to talk about this sticker?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got a package from Caitlin French, and she is from Vancouver. She does lots of things with natural dyes and just beautiful, crazy witchcraft, amazing things. Something that I would really love to learn about, but yeah, have neither time nor space in the future, maybe. Pardon me?
There's one up there too.
There's one what up there?
I took one of these.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so what Georgia wants me to talk about is I'll show you that in a minute, but in her little package that she sent me, she sent a bunch of these stickers, the Knit Fast Die Warm, and Justin thought they were hilarious. He loved them so much, and he took one and stuck it to our mantelpiece like the instant he opened the box. And that's what Georgia was ready to go show me, that there's one on the mantelpiece. But anyways, that was just a little extra that she threw, and I'll probably stick one of those in with our giveaway. Oh honey, Georgia, you can't come up on the bed because there's the tripod on the bed, and then you'll shake it. Can you come off the bed, please? You and Mr. Bunny. Are you just gonna sit there? Yeah. Okay, you have to sit there so still. And be so quiet. I'll get her to come and say hi in a minute. Oh, more stickers. Okay, so what she actually sent me was she started making these sock blanks in gradients, and she also did moon prints, and they're ridiculous. Like, they're so beautiful. So this is the one that she sent me. So there's her thing there, and this one is 80% wool, 20% nylon. Hey, honey, you can't move. 80% wool, 20% nylon, 115 grams, so 420 yards. And this one was made with wildcrafted tansy and logwood. And you are not getting the full picture because it's a gradient. Like, it goes from this beautiful dark purple to this, like, gorgeous yellow green, like, wow. Is it picking it up? Yeah, it is. It's a little bit darker than what it looks like. My light's a little bright, but it's just beautiful. And so she sent, these are brand new. You can find them in her Etsy shop and at CaitlinFrench.com. I'll put her information in the show notes and everything. But so she sent me that to design something with. It is a lot of stickers.
Let's put one on the bed.
Maybe later.
But I want to put one on the bed right now.
Maybe later. Yeah, the stickers, Caitlin, big hit. Everyone loves them. So yeah, I get to design something with that, and I'm hoping to have that done before Knit City, because Caitlin and I are gonna be neighbors at Knit City, so we'll have booths right next to each other, which is fun. Yeah, so you'll be seeing a lot of this on Instagram and in the future. Yeah, and speaking of Instagram, make sure you go and check out the giveaway. My phone's been beeping over there because it literally just started this morning, and that's going on until August 6th. And then the Cypress accessory patterns are going to go live tomorrow morning, hopefully, if that one doesn't wake up too early. And the $5 promotion for those, the $5 for both, that's going to go on until August 8th. So yeah, again, thank you so much for joining me today. Again, if you watched last time too, which, yeah, still even just thinking about, the awesome response I got makes me smile. So thank you so much, and I guess I'll see you in 2 weeks. Georgie, you want to come say bye?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Are you talking?
Yeah, I'm talking about my name and stuff.
And sometimes you sit on your phone.
Sometimes I play on my phone.
You play on your phone.
Oh. So do you play on my phone sometimes? Hehehehe